What's up YouTube, this is Collect Pokemon and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I want to talk about generations. I know what you guys are thinking. Hey, Collect Pokemon, you asked us in the last video about the different categories in Pokemon card investment. Why are you jumping to generations? Well, because generation is one of those categories, or at least what I believe to be one of those categories. And we will actually have to see until the 30th anniversary where 20th anniversary and 25th anniversary consolidate itself into one of those anniversary 5-year sets every 5 years. So if it does, it is a category on its own. And so yeah, but before we get into it, the first half of the video, I really want to talk about generations, how much it has moved. I've watched this set grow over the past 10 years. And why? Because this was my first seal product investment. So believe it or not, this is my first seal product investment. And I've told the story on YouTube many times, but for those of you that are new, I originally thought 20th anniversary, that's so cool. So this Elite Trainer boxes, so I decided to make my first large purchase, which is one entire case, 10 Elite Trainer boxes of this 20th generations Elite Trainer box. And back then, I still had the rule that I teach you guys all the time, open some, save some, open some, keep some, these kind of stuff. So I think I opened 4 of them or 5 of them on YouTube on this channel somewhere 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And then I kept the other sealed. And I kept it sealed until now, and it's still sealed. I mean, I just kept it, in the dark corner. I've just pulled it up and put it in these acrylic boxes because now I know it's worth a little bit more, that it's worth a acrylic box. That's pretty much it. But I haven't sold any because there is still a story to tell. It was not until I think close to COVID time I picked up a lot more of these Victini tin boxes or pin boxes. I think back then there was only Meloetta and the Victini left. I think I got it off Amazon. I rarely buy things off Amazon, but these I got off Amazon. And some of these, they only have 1 pack inside. It was very weird. But now, most of these, they should have 2 booster pack. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story of this and why I thought that it was a good investment back then, 10 years ago. A Collect Pokemon that was in his mid-20s, and what was he thinking? So hit the like button, the subscribe button. I know some of you guys enjoy these kind of storytelling videos, so I'm gonna have a mix of different types of video. So yeah, hit the like, subscribe button, as I know many of you haven't hit the subscribe button. So yeah, Generations was when I first got back into Pokemon, and I'm not gonna tell you the reasons why I got back into Pokemon again, but hey, if you watch my video, you should have known, but if not, one day I'll tell you. I was looking at a lot of single cards because single cards seems the good way. So this was the time when a lot of the Gyarados, Magikarp, Ponchos was being released. Charizard, Mega Charizard X, Mega Charizard Y, Pikachu Ponchos, you can still get them at MSRP at the Pokemon Center in Japan all the time, tax-free, these sort of stuff. It was that time, when people are buying single cards, you can flip single cards. And I was actually still looking for older products like Flashfire, but it couldn't be found. So when the 20th anniversary hit, first the Japanese set hit first. So that was CP6, and yeah, that is one of my saddest story. CP6, 20th anniversary, CP6 in the Japanese side of things. Each booster box now is selling for what, $3,000 US? Back then, I could have gotten it for $50 US, and I've got many of them. I've opened around 4 cases, which is 80 booster box. Just kind of ripped them open. It was so fun. Ripped them. I kept all the cards. I mean, I still have a lot of the holos. I still kept a whole entire full set, but a majority of the extra ones I sold off, and that's that. If I haven't sold those off, I would. Wow, that's just a sad story that I'm not going to go over. But you guys do the math. 4 cases, 80 boxes. Yep. But back then I was flipping between English and Japanese. This was the time when no one cared about Japanese, and yeah, no one really think about Japanese as anything. So back then I was like, English has a larger market. So I will open the Japanese 20th anniversary, but I will invest in the English 20th anniversary. And so I did. So when Generations was announced and was set to release, I went to a local card store. I ordered a case. It was quite expensive. I think it was $60 or 50 or $60 per booster Elite Trainer box, and then I got an entire case. And back then, I thought it was a big investment. It was also the first time when I went to pick it up, it came in like an entire seal case. So it felt really good, just kind of slicing the box open, and you see all 10 booster Elite Trainer box being there. So yeah, that was me in my mid-20s. I was like, wow, that was really, really cool. So I filmed some video of me opening this, and eventually I bought all the single cards and I collected the entire set. This was the time when I still think about, collecting the entire set because it's cool. I do want to collect an entire binder set. And so therefore, many of these cards, I do actually still have the binder sets. But I didn't grade them or anything. Back then, I didn't know anything about grading anyway. So I just kept it in binder. And that's that. And then I stored the extra ones away. And during the next few years, I kind of flipped between sealed products, single cards, graded cards, poncho cards, because I'm not seeing sealed product moving as much as before. After the 20th anniversary, I think it was Evolutions, and then it was a lot of other sets. The Sun and Moon set, it was popular, but the price never changed much, and it was not until COVID this started to pop up. There are times in between that phase, I stopped buying sealed product. I stopped buying sealed products in terms of I just didn't buy any, like Celestial Storm, Lost Thunder, all these booster boxes I could have bought, but I didn't buy any. Team Up, I did buy a little bit more because I thought Tag Team was cool. But all the other sets in between, I kind of quit sealed product. And because I thought that, this box was sitting there at $100 for like 4 years without moving, 3 or 4 years without moving. It was not until the COVID time it started to jump up to 200, 400, 600. And now it jumped up to, hey, it's almost close to $2,000 a booster Elite Trainer box. So during that time, like I said, I stopped investing in sealed products and I went in with a lot of the single cards, ponchos, Munch, all these sort of special promo cards. It turned out to be good, right? I mean, hey, look at the price now. But if I've only stuck to investing into sealed products, I would have done even better in a way. But it's a learning process. And I think that sometimes, I guess it's good to be flexible that you're investing in sealed products and single card, but at the same time, if I could go back in time, I wish I would have bought like one single case or 2 cases of each release, and that would be great, right? So going forward now, I mean, even the Scarlet and Violet era, I have been buying 1 or 2 cases to hold. I mean, I don't know that if they would go up or down. I don't know if they're a good set or not, but I'm just gonna hold on to some. Whereas if I find a set really, really good, like Prismatic Evolution or Terrestrial Festival, then I'll invest much more heavily in those. So for example, Generations, I've only kept four of these Elite Trainer box left. I don't have many left, so I plan to just keep it until much later on. I don't really no urge to sell it. I'm not in an emergency to sell it. So these sort of stuff. And what's iconic about this set is that a lot of people talk about deep sets, like I said. They're like, what exactly makes it set deep? Is it there are many chase cards? Is it the expected value? But I think that Generation itself could be considered to be a deep set. In a way that it is very difficult to grade a PSA 10. So people who want to grade PSA 10, they would have to open a lot of these or buy a PSA 10. And I think what a deep set means is that the price range for many of these single cards, PSA 10 grade cards, they have a huge range. And when there's a huge range, that creates a deep set because that creates a urge of chance, an urge of gambling. You have a chance to go big or go home. And I think that's essentially one big part of Pokemon. You know, you really want to rip a card that is like a golden ticket, you know, something along that line. So I think that, you know, when we're talking about a deep set, it is a set that has a huge range. That's why even Evolution you can consider to be a deep set. I mean, it's very difficult to get a PSA 10, but if you're not getting a PSA 10, all the other cards are dirt cheap, you know, these sort of stuff. But if you have a wider range, and throughout the range is distributed in a much more normal distributed way, I think that's what a deep set really is. And I think Generation is close to it. I mean, it's close to it. I don't think it's equally distributed, but getting a PSA 10 of any of these cards could be very, very difficult. The Radiant Collection Pikachu is one card that I love, and I bought many of them. I bought like, what, 50, 60 of them? Something along that line. I've tried grading most of them, and most of them came out as PSA 9. So I think that it's very difficult to grade the set. And because of that, you know, the price, of course, is going to be huge between a 9 and a 10. And that's that. So Generations. The booster packs itself is selling for $130 US, $150 US. The Elite Trainer box will be much more expensive than things such as these pin sets. A lot of the time with these pin sets, people only want the pack. They like the pack art, they'll buy the pack art. But the Elite Trainer box itself is a collectible. It is something that people will collect. I want you to take a look at the 25th anniversary and the 20th. Do they look similar? Do they look like they have a theme? Yes, it's Pikachu's face with 2-0 and 2-5 on it. If Pokemon continue to release the 30th anniversary with 3-0 on it, it creates a series, it creates collectability within these anniversary sets. You know, someone would really like to collect 20, 25, 30, 35, you know, they would like to collect onwards. So I think that this is a category on its own. And when it creates that category, people will like to buy into it. That's why I have, you know, 3 or 4 cases. I think 4 cases of the 25th as well. And I think I'm going to buy a couple of cases of the 30th as well when it is released. If it was released in any sort of variation with the number written on it like that. So yeah, that's what I think. And I think that Generations, there are a lot of good arts. And I know people are going to say, hey, collect Pokemon. Do you really know the art? Yes, I do. I know the Charmander, the Charmeleon, and the Charizard. There's a storyboard telling it, you know, this sort of stuff. And in the 25th anniversary, they have Lily with Cosmog, Cosmoem, and then Lunala, and Solgaleo with the storyboard again. So I think that, you know, Pokemon is likely to keep that theme of like a storytelling within these anniversary sets, which is quite fancy, which is quite good. And with the upcoming 30th anniversary and a lot of the what we call ARs, Illustrated Rare, I think that, you know, there will be a lot more of these connective storyboard type of artwork, talking about the evolutions of the trainer and the Pokemon, you know, these sort of stuff. I think it is going to happen. And yeah, it's going to be a solid set. I mean, there's nothing, you know, we're not seeing anything, but I do believe that it is going to be a solid set. So yeah, that's that. And I think that there would be a lot of products available at release. You know, the price of Black Bolt and White Flare is likely to come back down. I mean, it's still hard to find. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's going to drop back down to MSRP, but I think that it's going to be much more easy to pallet down than anything else. But hey, by the time you guys are watching this, I'm buying the Elite Trainer boxes, and I think that, you know, there will be a lot of products. The price won't go up, but eventually everything will siphon off, and then the Elite Trainer box will shoot up in price. But yeah, I'm only going to buy, and I'm only going to hold on to the Elite Trainer boxes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do I care about the Pokemon Center ones? No, not really. I don't really care, because I don't want to spend, you know, more money paying scalper for the Pokemon Center one. just for extra stamped card or something like that. So yeah, that's that. And then, like I said, I really like this icon 20, 25, 30. If the Pokemon Center one has 30 and the regular one doesn't, then okay, fine, I'll buy the Pokemon Center one. But yeah, you get my point. So yeah, that's why I think that Generations or these anniversary sets is becoming a iconic categories. And I think going forward, like the celebrations, the 25th anniversary, it was printed to ground. There was a time when people were begging me to take Elite Trainer box in from them. And I think this is gonna repeat. And yeah, that's that. Fun fact, a lot of these, did I tell you guys this? Yeah, these one I got from Amazon actually, way after the release. So I think I've talked about this already because I filmed the video a few times, so I can't remember if I've mentioned it. But anyway, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have actually kept a lot of these. Now you guys might ask, hey, collect Pokemon, is it a good time to buy these? I don't know. If you want it in your collection, buy it. The price will go up. But if you want it as an investment, I would say no, because the price is already so high. I would not buy these for investment purposes. But I would buy it if you really want to collect the 20th, 25th, 30th, because the price of these will only go up. There isn't a lot of ETB out there. There's a lot of pin box out there. Look at Rudy's old video. You know, Rudy have pallets of these. Yeah, but not ETB. There's not a lot of ETB floating around. So that's that. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. This is Collect Pokemon. Bye-bye.